Last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the brakes off the Phoenix Suns. This mother effer was a solar eclipse. There is no sun. Darkness everywhere. The sun has been extinguished. Life on this planet has ceased to exist. All that remains is the living, breathing death machine known as the Oklahoma City Thunder. 138-89. I'll do the math so you don't have to. 49-point margin of victory. And as always with these Thunder games, because why would all the stars play the entire game when they're always up by 1 million? It could have been worse. Now, maybe you want to say, well, Devin Booker didn't play in the game. So, what if Devin Booker played? I use this analogy sometimes, and I think it's apt here. In the 1986 divisional round, the Giants would go on to win Super Bowl 21. The San Francisco 49ers visited the Giants, and on the first drive of the game, 0-0, Jerry Rice is running into the end zone after catching a slant from Joe Montana from right to left on your television dial, and he is sprinting towards the end zone with no defender around him. And you can find this clip. I'm not making this up. And Jerry is the best receiver, arguably the best football player ever. Jerry inexplicably fumbles the ball, and no one's around him, just drops the ball going, and not at the goal line, at the 15-yard line. And the Giants recover. The Giants go on to win the game 49-3. And after the game, Hall of Fame head coach Bill Walsh of the Niners is asked, what would have happened if Jerry, and I'm paraphrasing the question, if Jerry had scored the touchdown? And Bill Walsh's response was, we would have lost 49-10. Bill Walsh knew. See, yeah, because I've seen people say, well, Devin Booker didn't play. Great, you lost by 49. Maybe you lose by 29 instead. Maybe it's only 30 instead of 50, the margin of victory. And with this win, the Oklahoma City Thunder improve to 24-1. And the 1 in 24-1 was the second half of a back-to-back with a number of players out on the road at the Blazers. When they were up big and blew the lead in the fourth quarter, they could easily be 25-0. But as it stands, 24-1 has officially tied the 15-16 Golden State Warriors for the best start in NBA history. In the history of the league, that Warriors team, unbelievable. I mean, it's crazy they didn't win the title. Crazy that they lost to the Cavs in Game 7. I bet the Cavs in that game. It was really awesome. 93-89. Kyrie Irving step back 3. Bang! Oh, you absolutely love it. You absolutely love it. The Warriors started that season 24-0. And then they lost their first game at 24-0. The Thunder are 24-1. Oklahoma City is winning games by an average of 17.5 points. Which is by far the biggest margin of victory through 25 games. Small sample, a little less than a third of the way through the season. But just for context, by far through 25 games, the largest margin of victory that any team has ever had. The Thunder's net rating with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams not on the court together. So when both of them don't play, their net rating is +8. When SGA and Jalen Williams both are not on the court at the same time, +8. Jalen Williams, the second best player on the team, has only played in 6 games. Hartenstein's hurt. Lou Dort's missed time. Aaron Wiggins has missed time. Isaiah Joe has missed time. Alex Caruso has missed time. 24-1. For all our younger viewers, listeners and viewers, if you didn't get to, and sometimes I wish I was one of you, because I would have missed watching my favorite team get their brains beaten in every year when it mattered the most. But if you're too young to have seen Michael Jordan in the 90s at the height of his powers, and all you've heard is people talk about it, and you've seen highlights, and you've read about it, of course, if you never got the chance to see the Michael Jordan Bulls win 6 titles in 8 years, and 3-peat twice, you might be watching the new Bulls on a weekly basis with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I know they've only won one championship so far. I want someone to tell me how in the world they're not going back-to-back as long as Shea is healthy. I was going to say as Jalen Williams is healthy, that they cruise this season without him. Obviously, you want him there. If they're healthy, I want someone to tell me how they're losing. You want to say maybe Denver could play its best, give them their best shot. Houston Rockets. I don't think any team outside of those two teams could do it, and I would never bet either of them to beat the death machine known as the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're going to go back-to-back. Like, it's going to happen if they're healthy. They are not losing. And, of course, they can. Like, I thought Duke was definitely going to win the national title last year in college basketball. They lost to Houston and blew a huge lead in the Final Four on that Saturday night, where a lot of us lost a lot of money, including me, which was no fun. So it's not a lock. It's not a guarantee. But again, just like tell me the team that's beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. I want to know. And they're not done after this year. They have right now, if you go to Tankathon, it always has like the various like draft orders where we stand right now in the various sports. The Thunder are slated right now to have 3 first-round picks, including the number 3 overall pick in the draft that could be number 1 when it's all said and done. And that pick comes courtesy of the trade that keeps on giving. This trade is basically the Bobby Bonilla contract of professional sports trades. Because every single year you find out something new has happened as a result of it, and the Thunder get something new. The Thunder have the Clippers' first-round pick. You know, from the deal that netted them Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Which means that as it stands right now, the Thunder would add to their roster one of A.J. DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, or Cam Boozer. Or like insert other stud college basketball freshman if you want to, but probably one of those 3 to this unbelievable lineup. The Thunder live win total right now at BetMGM is 70.5. Betting market says they're going to win 70 games, at least. Are they going to win more than 70? I've been telling you since the start of the season they're winning 70 games. We talked about it as the season wore on. 63.5 2 weeks in. Are you kidding me with the way this team looked? The only question is, are they going to win 74 and set the all-time record? They're plus 375 right now to win 74 games, plus 375. SGA is the MVP favorite. Chet Holmgren is the Defensive Player of the Year favorite. A.J. Mitchell is among the favorites for Sixth Man of the Year. Mark Daigneault is the second choice for Coach of the Year. I don't think we fully appreciate right now what we are watching. We are watching history and the early stages of what I believe will be a new dynasty in the National Basketball Association.